Okay, YouTubers, this will be the last video segment on our Tacoma. I just wanted to walk out here. Still got these carpeted floor mats out here drying in the sun. They were hot water extracted. They were done with several different types of cleaners trying to attack the different types of stains that they had. And then they were steam cleaned, all that stuff, hit with a drill brush. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and tried everything. And then they were thoroughly rinsed and put outside here to dry. And after all that, those and all other soft, as I call them, or fabric surfaces on the interior of the vehicle were treated with 303 fabric protectant. As you can see here, as I get in close, there were some of the stains. I'm not sure what the nature of them was, maybe grease or something, had been there so long and had penetrated so deep, like I think you can see right there, they could not be removed. But I'd say 80 to 90% of the stains that were there are gone. So that's relatively successful. I think the only way you can improve them anymore is to re-dye them, which is possible. If he wants me to do that, I will be happy to do that for him. Still cheaper than buying new ones. We'll go to our interior here. There again, all the windows were stripped down, then cleaned with the window cleaner. I used an ammonia-free one just out of an abundance of caution so as not to damage any aftermarket tinting that might have been on there. Don't think there was any, but I didn't want to take a chance. All the door jambs and door sills were thoroughly cleaned and treated with some protectant. As I said earlier, all these rubber seals, whatever you call them, they were all thoroughly cleaned and treated with that VRP stuff I was telling you about to keep them soft and supple. And we'll start on the passenger side here. You can see, I don't know if y'all remember, but these fabric door inserts on both doors were both heavily soiled and grease stains and what all on them, I'm not sure. They were steamed and cleaned thoroughly, got the vast majority of the stains out. There was grease all over, or whatever it was, the doors and everything. All that was removed. Again, everything. This was treated with 303 fabric protectant, the hard surfaces with the 303 aerospace protectant. So in the future, if he gets a light dust on it or just some light dirt, he doesn't have to clean them. All he needs to do is get a damp microfiber towel and wipe them down until that protectant wears away, which it will eventually. And what kind of water, folks, does he dampen that towel with? Distilled water, because your tap water has all kind of chemicals in it. As you can recall me talking about, somebody had applied either a silicone or petroleum based protectant on the dash and whatever, and all that was thoroughly cleaned. Had to steam clean it, which I ended up doing to most of this interior. I'd say 99% of it, because there was some mold in the vehicle, so I tried to remove that. And later on I ran the ozone generator to try to get rid of what might be left. I did the vent system so to get any mold that might be in there out, and then a water-based protectant was placed on everything. Most of it, the 303 aerospace protectant, which is water-based, is not slick or anything, and it just works better. Once you get the car outside, it won't gas as bad, release some of the chemicals in it, and where it goes up and sticks to your windows. Took a lot of doing to get that inside of this windshield clean from where that stuff had gassed or evaporated up and stuck to the windshield. It was so gooey. Almost worse than you know, tar and nicotine from cigarettes. As you might recall, this seat was heavily soiled. Got most of that out, could not get it all out. Some of that is wear. And I mean, you can't clean away wear and tear. But most of the stains that were there came out. That console, if you recall, was nasty. Required a lot of heavy cleaning, a lot of time with little tools, getting all those little nooks and crannies. But it turned out looking relatively nice. All this stuff that is leather, and I think this is leather, was treated with a leather conditioner, because I think the protective coating on it is long since worn away. So that was treated with leather. As you can see there, some of the staining on that driver's seat did not come out, although I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. Some of that is wear. And console, inside the console, the ashtray, what parts I could remove from the vehicle were removed and cleaned and treated. Look at the back here. All that carpet was cleaned thoroughly. All of this fabric here, these little fold down seats, everything. All the vinyl and plastic, the seat belts, the seat belt buckles, everything was thoroughly cleaned and then protected. Now there again, there's some stuff back here that could not be removed. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. That stain there, I did reduce it a lot, but could not get rid of it. Hot water extraction, steam, degreaser, enzymatic cleaners, APC, nothing would get it out. The degreaser is what seemed to have the most effect on it, which tells me maybe it was from somebody having grease or something. I'm not sure, but anyway, I got it as clean as it could possibly get. Anyway, folks, all the stuff was cleaned. Like I say, I pulled out all those seat belts and they were all steam cleaned. Had a little bit of a product called F-Bomb in my steamer when I did those, as well as wiping them down with it and then rinsing them really good and then drying them. So they're as clean as they can get without removing them from the vehicle, which is, if you've ever done that, it's a pain in the butt. The headliner was lightly cleaned. I don't fool with headliners too much because so many of them are so fragile, and if you're not careful, you will mess them up and they will turn loose and drop down on you. So don't ask me how I know that. It was my car, don't worry about it. But it cleaned up fairly well, just did a light cleaning. So now I got to finish up the paperwork. I've already called the customer. I'm sure he's at work. And we will return this vehicle to him. I hope he's happy. Thank y'all very much. As I said earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to inbox me. To me, there are no secrets here. I'm happy to share whatever limited knowledge that I have with you. If you are a DIYer or a semi-professional like me, to help you out, I'll be glad to help you. Just hit that subscribe button so you'll be able to stay tuned on my next project. Good day, folks.